So for the 15-year anniversary of the Assassin's Creed franchise, I wanted to make a video. I thought maybe I'd do a stream of the entire original Assassin's Creed game. And as I started doing a little bit of research for the video, I came across some articles saying that they might remaster the original Assassin's Creed in the next year and a half or so. So I figured I'd put a hold off on that. Maybe I'll stream the entire game of Assassin's Creed 3 since they already have the remastered version out on that. But I'd still like to do a video on Assassin's Creed 1. Assassin's Creed, the original game, came out on the Xbox 360, at least that's what I played it on, in 2007, and it was actually the first Xbox 360 game I ever played. I was a PlayStation kid growing up, and I went from playing Spyro the Dragon and Crash Bandicoot to jumping on the 360 and playing games like Assassin's Creed and BioShock and Fallout 3. So that's really the pinnacle of gaming for me, that 2007, 2008 area of gaming where all three of those games came out. So I'm really nostalgic for Assassin's Creed 1. This game came out 15 years ago, and I'm 30 years old as the recording of this video, so more than half of my life ago, and it really seems like it was yesterday. And I really would put Assassin's Creed 1 in the class of my favorite games, along with the original BioShock and along with Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. And that area of gaming really resonates with me. That's when I would have considered myself a true gamer, the kind of gamer that comes home from school and spends 5 or 6 hours straight playing the game and puts 40-50 hours into a game that really was only meant to have 10 or 15 hours put into it just because I wanted to know everything there was to do with those games. I was a true gamer at that point. Whereas now, when I'm in my 30s, you have other responsibilities other than just school. You have work and family and kids and all that, and it takes up a lot of your time. And really, I'm only a gamer on here. I get on here and I make stupid videos with Michael and Patrick, and that's pretty much the extent of my gaming. I'm a huge Fallout fan, and I like to collect things, but that's pretty much the extent currently. But back then, when this game was originally released, it was different then, so I really have nostalgic memories of this game. This game means a lot to me, so when I heard it was 15th anniversary, I was like, well, I have to do a video on Assassin's Creed. Back in 2007, when this game first came out, well, it had its ins and outs that you had to look into. It had its mystery. It wasn't quite as complex and convoluted as it is today. It was a nice packaged mystery that left you wanting more information. Since the release of Assassin's Creed 1, Ubisoft has actually added 11 main title games to the franchise, and that's only counting main title games. There's several more that I would not include in the distinction of being part of the main story. And with these additions, Assassin's Creed 1 actually is no longer Assassin's Creed 1, as it was the first game released. It is not the first game in the linear timeline of the events of the games. There's actually the three newest games slot in before this first game, making this game number 4. And I just wanted to go back to a time in my mind where this was easier, simpler. I'm a kid, I'm playing the Assassin's Creed game, I'm killing bad guys, I'm happy. So for that, we will not be jumping into the Pieces of Eden story arc, as it's a main point in this game. It is not actually revealed to you the intricacies of that story. It's not revealed to you where these items come from. It's not revealed to you the story of the Isu and the first civilization and all the other main title stories. This was the first game. This was a nice boxed package where, yes, there was some mystery. Yes, it was left on kind of a cliffhanger. We liked that. I liked the open-endedness of it. I didn't need a million branching storylines connecting Odin and Zeus and the first civilization and Adam and Eve. And while I don't dislike those things, there's just something about the memories that come with a nice packaged storyline. Gaming was different back in this time. So I figured we could just go through the game, the main points, review it. I played through the game again, but I didn't want to live stream it because the graphics aren't going to be as good, and I don't want to do 2 live streams of the same game within a year and a half of each other. So here's hoping that the original Assassin's Creed potential remaster does come to fruition here in the near future. But for now, let's take a look at the original Assassin's Creed game, to go through the main points of the game and just kind of look back and relive some of that nostalgia. So the game starts off in the year 2012. It was released in 2007, but we're playing in the near future at this point, now the past. We're playing as a character named Desmond Miles, and we have been captured by a major corporation called Abstergo. Now, we don't know what Abstergo wants with us, but we do know that we're held captive here and that we cannot leave.
You kidnapped me! You strapped me into that thing!
Animus. It's an animus.
I don't even know you people! Why are you doing this to me?
You have information we need, Mr. Miles.
Information? I'm a bartender, for Christ's sakes! What do you want me to do, teach you how to mix a martini?
Now, while we're here, there are a couple of scientists watching over us, and they're observing us as they place us inside of a machine called the Animus.
Where am I?
You're inside the animus.
Which is...
It's a projector that renders genetic memories in 3 dimensions.
genetic memory.
Seems you'll need a bit of a tutorial.
The Animus is a machine that projects genetic memories from people's ancestors into 3-dimensional images that the scientists can then view. And this corporation and its scientists think that our genetic DNA is special because they believe that our genetic DNA can help them to locate an object that they were looking for.
You've got something that my employers want, locked away in that head of yours.
What do you want from me?
For you to do as you're told. The Animus will allow us to locate what we need.
As we're in this machine, we begin to project the memories of a man named Altair, one of our ancestors. The year's 1191, and we are in the Crusades era with King Richard's, and we're in the Holy Lands, which are home to the Assassin Order, an order that Altair is a part of. Now, playing as Altair, we are sent on a mission to Jerusalem by our assassin leader to recover a mysterious item.
Wait! There must be another way. This one need not die.
An excellent kill. Fortune favors your blade.
Not fortune, skill. Watch a while longer and you might learn something.
Indeed. He'll teach you how to disregard everything the Masters taught us.
And how would you have done it?
I would not have drawn attention to us. I would not have taken the life of an innocent. What I would have done is follow the creed.
Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. Understand these words. It matters not how we complete our task, only that it's done.
But this is not the way of...
My way is better.
Here, Altair goes against the creed of the assassins, harming an innocent person, and just generally being brandish of the fact that he is an assassin on his mission, citing that the way he wishes to do things is better than the way of the assassin's creed. Now, due to Altair's brandish actions, he actually fails his mission and does not retrieve the treasure, and in the process seemingly gets his 2 assassin brothers who went on the mission with him murdered.
Robert de Sable. His life is mine.
No. We were asked to retrieve the treasure and deal with Robert only if necessary.
He stands between us and it. I'd say it's necessary.
Discretion, Altair!
You mean cowardice. Hold, Templars! You are not the only ones with business here.
And what is it you want?
Blood.
You know not the things in which you meddle, assassin. I spare you only that you may return to your master and deliver a message. The Holy Land is lost to him and his. He should flee now while he has the chance. Stay, and all of you will die. Men, to arms! Kill the assassins!
He then returns to the Assassin's Temple, to the Assassin's leader, where it is revealed that one of the other assassins did in fact survive and retrieved the treasure, but that the 3rd assassin on the mission with them did perish.
I send you, my best man, to complete a mission more important than any that has come before. And you return to me with nothing but apologies and excuses.
I did.
Do not speak. Not another word. This is not what I expected. We'll need to mount another force.
I swear to you I'll find him. I'll go in.
No! You'll do nothing. You've done enough. Where are Melik and Kadar?
Dead.
No! Not dead.
Melik?
I still live at least.
And your brother?
Gone. Because of you!
Robert threw me from the room. There was no way back. Nothing I could do.
Because you would not heed my warning! All of this could have been avoided! And my brother would still be alive! Your arrogance nearly cost us victory today.
Nearly?
I've what your favorite failed to find. Here, take it.
Now, we do not get reprimanded at this point, but it is revealed by our assassin comrade that he was followed by the group that we were intended to steal the item from.
Master, we are under attack. Robert de Sable lays siege to Masyaf's village.
So he seeks a battle. Very well. I'll not deny him. For you, Altair, our discussion will have to wait. You must make for the village. Destroy these invaders.
The assassins then attempt to repel this invasion, but they are unable to defend the city and have to return to the assassin's temple. The assassins are able to distract the invaders long enough for Altair to end the siege, but this would not be enough to forgive Altair's transgressions against the Creed.
Malik has told me of the arrogance you displayed, your disregard for our ways.
What are you doing?
There are rules. We are nothing if we do not abide by the Assassin's creed. 3 simple tenets, which you seem to forget. I will remind you. First and foremost, stay your blade.
From the flesh of an innocent. I know.
And stay your tongue, unless I give you leave to use it. If you are so familiar with this tenet, then why did you kill the old man inside the temple? He was innocent. He did not need to die. Your insolence knows no bounds. Make humble your heart, child, or I swear I'll tear it from you with my own hands. The second tenet is that which gives us strength. Hide in plain sight. Let the people mask you such that you become one with the crowd. Do you remember? Because as I hear it, you chose to expose yourself, drawing attention before you'd struck. The third and final tenet. The worst of all your betrayals. Never compromise the Brotherhood. Its meaning should be obvious. Your actions must never bring harm upon us, direct or indirect. Yet your selfish act beneath Jerusalem placed us all in danger. Worse still, you brought the enemy to our home. Every man we've lost today was lost because of you. I am sorry. Truly I am. But I cannot abide a traitor.
I am not a traitor.
Your actions indicate otherwise. And so you leave me no choice. Peace be upon you, Altair.
The leader of the assassins then seemingly murders Altair for his transgressions against the Order. Now this turns out to not be true and was somehow an illusion cast by the assassin's master, and it would not be revealed until later exactly how this was completed.
I am alive. But I saw you stab me. Felt death's embrace.
You saw what I wanted you to see. And then you slept the sleep of the dead. Of the womb. That you might awake and be reborn.
It is then time for Altair to actually be punished. Altair is stripped of his rank as a master assassin, and in order to earn back the rank, he is given a list of 9 individuals by the assassin master whom he must assassinate. It is said by the leader of the assassins that the death of these 9 individuals will help to end the Crusades and bring about peace in the region. Altair was not only stripped of his rank, but of all of his equipment and resources as well.
Then what is to become of me?
I should kill you for the pain you've brought upon us. Malik thinks it only fair. Your life in exchange for his brother's. But this would be a waste of my time and your talents. You'll see you have been stripped of your possessions. Your rank as well. You are a novice. A child once more. As you were on the day you first joined our order. I am offering you a chance at redemption. You'll earn your way back into the Brotherhood.
I assume you've something planned.
First, you must prove to me you remember how to be an assassin. I hold here a list. 9 names adorn it. 9 men who need to die. They are plague bringers, war makers. Their power and influence corrupts the land and ensures the Crusades continue. You will find them. Kill them. In doing so, you'll sow the seeds of peace, both for the region and for yourself.
We spend the majority of the rest of the game traveling throughout the cities, earning back our gear, doing our own research and investigations, finding these individuals and assassinating them. As we do our investigation and research into our 9 targets, we learn that these are evil men. We have no qualms about assassinating these individuals, and we slowly do the legwork necessary to complete our tasks. As we complete our list, we begin to notice connections between our targets. These men are no doubt evil, but they were presumed members of different factions, some Saracens, some Crusaders. But as we begin to uncover connections between them, the plot begins to unfold.
Each man I've slain has confessed strange words to me. They are without regret. Even in death they seem confident of their success. Though they do not admit it directly, there is a tie that binds them. I'm sure of it.
There is a difference, Altair, between what we are told to be true and what we see to be true. Most men do not bother to make the distinction. It is simpler that way. But as an assassin, it is your nature to notice, to question.
Then what is it that connects these men?
But as an assassin, it is also your duty to still these thoughts and trust in your master.
Altair questions why enemies would be working together, why they would have ties between each other at all, and perhaps if these ties are the reasons that they are on the Master Assassin's list to be executed.
Be at peace.
You'll pay for this. You and all your kind.
It seems you're the one pays now, my friend. You'll not profit from suffering any longer.
You think me some petty death dealer, suckling at the breast of war? A strange target, don't you think? Why me, when so many others do the same?
You believe yourself different, then?
Oh, but I am. For I serve a far nobler cause than mere profit. Just like my brothers.
Brothers?
But he thinks I act alone. I am but a piece. A man with a part to play. You'll come to know the others soon enough. They won't take kindly to what you've done.
Good. I look forward to ending their lives as well.
Such pride. It will destroy you, child.
You've nowhere to run now. Share your secrets with me.
My part is plain. The Brotherhood is not so weak that my death will stop its work.
What Brotherhood?
Al-Mualim is not the only one with designs upon the Holy Land. And that's all you'll have from me.
Then we are finished. Beg forgiveness from your god.
He's long abandoned us. Long abandoned the men and women I took into my arms.
What do you mean?
Beggars, whores, addicts, lepers. Do they strike you as proper slaves? Unfit for even the most menial tasks? No. I took them not to sell, but to save. And yet you'd kill us all. For no other reason than it was asked of you.
No. You profit from the war. From lives lost and broken.
Yes, you would think that, ignorant as you are. Wall off your mind, eh? They say it's what your kind do best. Do you see the irony in all this? No, not yet, it seems. But you will.
Let go your burden.
I'll rest now, yes. The endless dream calls to me. But before I close my eyes, I must know what will become of my children.
You mean the people made to suffer your cruel experiments? They'll be free now to return to their homes.
Homes? What homes? The sewers? The brothels? The prisons that we dragged them from?
You took these people against their will.
Yes. what little will there was for them to have. Are you really so naive? Do you appease a crying child simply because he wails? But I want to play with fire, Father. What would you say? As you wish. Ah, but then you'd answer for his burn.
These are not children, but men and women full grown.
In body, perhaps, but not in mind, which is the very damage I sought to repair. I admit, without the piece of Eden, which you stole from us, my progress was slowed. But there are herbs, mixtures, and extracts. My guards are proof of this. They were madmen before I found and freed them from the prisons of their own minds. And with my death, madmen they will be again.
You truly believe you were helping them?
It's not what I believe. It's what I know.
Be at peace now. Their words can no longer do harm.
Why have you done this?
You stole money from those you claim to lead, sent it away for some unknown purpose. I want to know where it's gone and why.
Look at me. My very nature is an affront to the people I ruled. And these noble robes did little more than to muffle their shouts of hate.
So this is about vengeance, then?
No, not vengeance, but my conscience. How could I finance a war in service to the same god that calls me an abomination?
If you do not serve Salah ad-Din's cause, then whose?
In time, you'll come to know them. I think perhaps you already do.
Then why hide? And why these dark deeds?
Is it so different from your own work? You take the lives of men and women, strong in the conviction that their deaths will improve the lots of those left behind. A minor evil for a greater good? We are the same.
No, we are nothing alike.
Ah, but I see it in your eyes. You doubt. You cannot stop us. We will have our new world.
With the conclusion of each kill, the game puts us through a cutscene, a deathbed confessional of each of our targets, if you will. These men with their dying breaths speak of a brotherhood that we know nothing of, a connection between them and the other men that we have killed. They speak of a greater group, a group that cannot be stopped, a group that looks to bring about a new world order. And as more and more of these men do this, their connection becomes undeniable. Altair decides he needs to know more. He returns to the Assassin's Temple and questions his master, where it is explained to him the connection of these men. Yes, these men are the Templars of the Assassin's Creed franchise, and their leader in this game is the original target, the man who we were to steal this treasure from.
You said the answer to my question would arise when I no longer needed to ask it. So I will not ask. I demand you tell me what binds these men.
What you say is true. These men are connected by a blood oath not unlike our own.
Who are they?
Non nobis, domine non nobis.
Templars.
Now you see the true reach of Robert de Sable.
All of these men, leaders of cities, commanders of armies.
All pledge allegiance to his cause.
Their works are not meant to be viewed on their own, are they? But as a whole, what do they desire?
Conquest. They seek the Holy Land not in the name of God, but for themselves.
It is now explained by our master exactly what this treasure is. This treasure is, in lore, a piece of Eden, an item that can control the hearts and minds of men. Now, there's a long backstory, and the Assassin's Creed timeline is a long and complicated one, and we begin to unravel exactly the origins of this piece of Eden as the game goes along. Now, at this point in the game, we have been removed as Desmond Miles from this machine, from the Animus, several times. One of the scientists named Lucy champions for us to have continuous breaks out of this machine, as prolonged exposure to it has caused other test subjects in the past to go mad and die. It's clear that Lucy cares for us more than the other scientists, and throughout the game we get the sense that there is a connection between Desmond and Lucy, but we do not know what that may be. It's revealed to us through computer logs and through Lucy that we are not the only test subject to have gone through this animus, and there is a bleeding effect that's caused by the animus, where some of our ancestors' memories and abilities actually bleed through into our own, causing people to go crazy and die. As our breaks from the animus continue, we start speaking to Lucy, and it is revealed to us by her that the war between the assassins and the Templars has been going on for centuries. And in fact, as we are an ancestor of the assassins, Abstergo Industries is an ancestor of the Templars. The Templars now, in present day 2012, control this company, and they are using us still to this day to locate the piece of treasure from this original game. Back in the Animus as Altair, we continue on our mission to complete our killing list.
Rest now. Your schemes are at an end.
What do you know of my work?
I know that you are going to murder Richard and claim Akka for your son Conrad.
For Conrad, my son is an arse, unfit to lead his host, let alone a kingdom. And Richard, the Ancien is no better, blinded as he is by faith in the insubstantial. Acre does not belong to either of them.
Then who?
The city belongs to its people.
How can you claim to speak for the citizens? You stole their food, disciplined them without mercy, forced them into service under you.
Everything I did to prepare them for the new world. Stole their food? No. I took possession so that when the lean times came, it might be rationed properly. Look around. My district is without crime, save those committed by you and your ilk. And as for the conscription, they were not being trained to fight. They were being taught the merits of order and discipline. These things are hardly evil.
No matter how noble you believe your intentions, these acts are cruel and cannot continue.
We'll see how sweet they are, the fruits of your labors. You do not free the cities as you believe, but rather damn them. And in the end, you'll have only yourself to blame. You who speak of good intentions.
Your work here is finished.
No, no! It had only just begun!
Tell me, what's your part in all of this? Do you intend to defend yourself as the others have and explain away your evil deeds?
The Brotherhood wanted the city. I wanted power. There was an opportunity.
An opportunity to murder innocents.
Not so innocent. Dissident voices cut deep as steel. They disrupt order. In this, I do agree with the Brotherhood.
You'd kill people simply for believing differently than you.
Of course not. I killed them because I could. Because it was fun. Do you know what it feels like to determine another man's fate? And did you see the way the people cheered? The way they feared me? I was like a god. You'd have done the same if you could. Such power.
Once perhaps. But then I learned what becomes of those who lift themselves above others.
And what is that?
Here, let me show you.
Why? Why have you done this?
Men must be free to do what they believe. It is not our right to punish one for thinking what they do, no matter how much we disagree.
Then what?
You of all people should know the answer. Educate them. Teach them right from wrong. It must be knowledge that frees them, not force.
They do not learn, fixed in their ways as they are. You are naive to think otherwise. It's an illness, for which there is but one cure.
You're wrong, and that's why you must be put to rest.
Am I not unlike those precious books you seek to save? A source of knowledge with which you disagree, yet you're rather quick to steal my life.
A small sacrifice to save many. It is necessary.
Is it not ancient scrolls that inspire the Crusaders? That fill Salah ad-Din and his men with a sense of righteous fury? Their texts endanger others, bring death in their wake. I too was making a small sacrifice. It matters little now. Your deed is done, and so am I.
Don't do this.
You are afraid.
Of course I am afraid.
But you'll be safe now, held in the arms of your god.
Have my brothers taught you nothing? I know what waits for me. For all of us.
If not your god, then what?
Nothing. Nothing waits. And that is what I fear.
You don't believe.
How could I, given what I know? What I've seen? Our treasure was the proof.
Proof of what?
That this life is all we have.
Linger a while longer then, and tell me of the part you were to play.
A blockade by sea. To keep the fool kings and queens from sending reinforcements. Once we...
Conquered the Holy Land?
Freed it, you fool. From the tyranny of faith.
Freedom? You worked to overthrow cities, control men's minds, murdered any who spoke against you.
I followed my orders, believing in my cause. Same as you.
And we do so until the final name on the list is revealed to us as the leader of the Templars from the first mission in the game. In our attempts to kill this final target, we learn of his location and go there to kill him. Upon attempt at completion of this kill, it is revealed to us that they knew our plan to murder him and had replaced him with a decoy named Maria. Altair chooses to spare this Templar's a life, a decision that unbeknownst to him will come back to aid his family lineage in the future. This decoy was set in order to give our final target time to set up traps for Altair, time to set up his defenses.
I would see your eyes before you die.
I sense you expected someone else.
What sorcery is this?
No sorcery. We knew you'd come. Robert needed to be sure he'd have time to get away.
So he flees.
We cannot deny your success. You have laid waste to our plans. First the treasure, then our men. Control of the Holy Land slipped away. But then he saw an opportunity to reclaim what has been stolen, to turn your victories to our advantage.
Al-Muallim still holds your treasure, and we've routed your army before. Whatever Robert plans, he'll fail again.
Ah, but it's not just Templars you'll contend with now.
Speak sense.
Robert rides for Arsa to plead his case that Saracen and Crusader unite against the Assassins.
That will never happen. They have no reason to.
Had, perhaps. But now you've given them one. 9, in fact. The bodies you've left behind, victims on both sides. You've made the Assassins an enemy in common and ensured the annihilation of your entire order. Well done.
Not 9. 8.
What do you mean?
You are not my target. I will not take your life. You're free to go, but do not follow me.
I don't need to. You're already too late.
We'll see.
So now moving in for the final kill, we must battle through waves and waves of enemies in order to finally reach him. Altair reaches and assassinates his final target. And on his target's deathbed confessional, it is revealed to Altair that there was not only 9 Templars, but 10. The 10th being the master of the assassins who sent us on our hunt in the first place. The assassin leader manipulating Altair in order to rule over the region by himself. Now, with that piece of Eden in his hands, with that treasure, he would have the ability to do so with nobody else to stop him.
It's done then. Your schemes, like you, are put to rest.
You know nothing of schemes. You're but a puppet. He betrayed you, boy. Just as he betrayed me.
Speak sense, Templar. Or not at all.
9 men he sent you to kill, yes? The 9 who guarded the treasure's secret.
What of it?
It wasn't 9 who found the treasure, assassin. Not 9, but 10.
A 10th? None may live who carry the secret. Give me his name.
Oh, but you know him well. And I doubt very much you'd take his life as willingly as you've taken mine.
Who?
It is your master, Al-Mualim.
But he is not a Templar.
Did you never wonder how it is he knew so much? Where to find us, how many we numbered, what we aspired to attain?
He is the master of the assassins.
We, master of lies. You and I just 2 more pawns in his grand game. And now, with my death, only you remain. Do you think he'll let you live, knowing what you do?
I've no interest in the treasure.
Ah, but he does. The only difference between your master and I is that he did not want to share.
No.
Ironic, isn't it? That I, your greatest enemy, kept you safe from harm. But now you've taken my life, and in the process, ended your own.
Before we make it to our assassin leader, we are pulled out of the Animus again by Lucy. Lucy, having been trying to protect us this whole time, it is revealed to us that Lucy is an assassin herself, and not only an assassin, Maria, who we spared earlier, is her ancestor.
Listen!
Oh no.
Seems your assassin friends found us.
What?
How'd you do it, Desmond?
Hey, look, I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever's going on down there has got nothing to do with me.
They're here for you, and I sure as shit didn't invite them. What's the situation down there?
We're taking heavy fire.
Can you contain it? Or do I need to evacuate the prisoner?
Only 5 or 6. We've got them outnumbered. Couple of wounded, but we'll pull through. We'll get it under control.
God damn you, Desmond. You couldn't leave well enough alone.
I told you I had nothing to do with this. How would I even contact them? Telepathy? Come on.
Doesn't matter. They'll be dead soon enough. Here, have a listen.
That's been neutralized.
Looks like the cavalry won't be coming.
Dunno, Doc. We're freaking out a minute ago. Your little research facility not as secure as you thought it was? Worried they'll be back with more?
I don't think so, Desmond.
Now the other doctor will have no more of this nonsense. They are on the cusp of what they've been trying to achieve this whole time, what the whole game has been leading up to, finding this piece of Eden. So we are forced back into the Animus to confront the final Templar, the assassin leader. Upon arrival, we are now forced to do battle with a man who holds a piece of Eden which has mysterious powers over the human brain.
So, the student returns.
I've never been one to run.
Never been one to listen either.
I still live because of it.
What will I do with you?
Let me go.
Oh, Altair. I hear the hatred in your voice. Feel its heat. Let you go? Well, that would be unwise.
Why are you doing this?
I found proof.
Proof of what?
That nothing is true. And everything is permitted. Come. Destroy the betrayer. Send him from this world.
He uses this piece of Eden to conjure up the bodies of the 9 individuals whom we have already assassinated, of whom which we have to do battle with and murder a second time.
Face me! Or are you afraid?
I have stood before 1,000 men, all of them superior to you, and all of them dead, by my hand. I am not afraid.
Prove it.
What could I possibly fear? Look at the power I command. Have you any final words?
You lied to me. Called Robert's goal foul when all along it was yours as well.
I've never been much good at sharing.
You won't succeed. Others will find the strength to stand against you.
And this is why, so long as men maintain free will, there can be no peace.
I killed the last man who spoke as such.
Bold words, boy. But just words.
Then let me go. I'll put words into action. Tell me, Master, why did you not make me like the other assassins? Why allow me to retain my mind?
Who you are and what you do are twined too tight together. To rob you of one would have deprived me of the other. And those Templars had to die. But the truth is, I did try. In my study, when I showed you the treasure. But you are not like the others. You saw through the illusion.
Illusion?
That's all it's ever done. This Templar treasure, this piece of Eden, this word of God. Do you understand now? Red Sea was never parted. Water never turned to wine. It was not the machinations of Iris that spawned the Trojan War, but this! Illusions! All of them!
What you plan is no less an illusion. To force men to follow you against their will.
Is it any less real than the phantoms the Saracens and Crusaders follow now? Those craven gods who retreat from this world that men might slaughter one another in their names? They live amongst an illusion already. I'm simply giving them another. One that demands less blood.
At least they choose these phantoms.
Or do they? Aside from the occasional convert or heretic?
It isn't right.
Ah, and now logic has left you. In its place, you embrace emotion. I am disappointed.
What's to be done then?
You will not follow me, and I cannot compel you.
And you refuse to give up this evil scheme.
It seems then we are at an impasse.
No, we are at an end.
I will miss you, Altair. You were my very best student.
We then turn our attention to the assassin leader and are successful in assassinating him. As we do so, he releases this piece of Eden, which rolls onto the center of the floor and projects into the sky a map that shows every other piece of Eden that exists in the world, its location. This is what Abstergo, this is what the Templars were searching our memories for. We have now a memory 3D projected through our DNA memories for them to be able to find and locate all of these pieces of Eden, all of which have unknowable power. We were then pulled out of the Animus for the final time. The scientists and the board at Abstergo are pleased. They've gotten what they've wanted. As we exit the Animus, we see through our eyes the eagle vision that we have seen through Altair's eyes several times. The bleeding effect that took the subject before us has taken hold of us, giving us abilities held by our ancestors. With this ability, we see messages scrawled all over the floors and walls left by the previous subject. We have beaten the game, but have we really won, giving this corporation, this evil organization, these Templars, the information that they wanted? The game ends with the assassins on their way to rescue us having given the antagonists of the game the information, being used as a pawn. And I vividly remember this ending that throws all this information in our face without the context that we need to decipher it. Given this ability, you see all these markings on the walls that you don't quite yet understand. And this really stuck with me. This is one of the reasons I spent so long in this game just staring at these objects. on the wall. It was really captivating stuff back in 2007, and even today it is captivating. And that does it for Assassin's Creed 1. Assassin's Creed 2 starts off right where Assassin's Creed 1 ends, but that is a topic for another video. I wanted to thank you all for watching. If you guys like the video, like and subscribe. We genuinely appreciate it. Make sure to check out our streams every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys so much again, and goodbye.